This woman says really creepy paranormal stuff keeps happening in her house. She's got her husband there, plus her father-in-law living with them too. When it started, the weird stuff was pretty minor, the kind of things you could easily explain away. But lately it's gotten way worse, and it all seems to be happening in one particular spot. Her father-in-law's bedroom. Doors that move by themselves, sounds that don't make sense, stuff slamming really hard. That's his room where he keeps all his personal stuff and old memories. So she started filming everything.
House, I'm trying to catch it on camera. The door shut like 5 minutes ago. I opened it back up. I'm gonna see if it'll do it again. Here we go. Oh shit. Oh my god, that was so crazy. I really didn't think it was gonna happen like that on cue. Jesus. Oh god. Why is my camera glitching out? Oh, that tends to happen when you get close to stuff, I guess. Okay, I just want to show you guys that no one's in here. No one's here but us. This is a closet. Let me try to turn the light on so you guys can see. Like, there's nothing in here, nobody in here. Like, what the f? Nobody under a bed. You can't see nothing. Ah! Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. What the f? And guys, I know my father-in-law did not just shut that door. He's like 60 some years old, guys. Like this stuff, and this is his bedroom, and he's scared to death. Like, he's been sleeping on the couch, and my brother's been sleeping in his bed. But this is crazy. What the fuck? I don't know.
Here's what makes this whole haunting thing even creepier. People watching the videos spotted something important in that room. The father-in-law's wife died years back, and he still got this framed picture of both of them right next to his bed. Some people think this isn't even an evil spirit. What they think is maybe it's his dead wife's spirit trying to let him know she's still around. Not trying to scare him or anything, just wanting him to know he's not really alone. Other people say that being scared sometimes pushes away spirits who aren't trying to hurt anyone. They think if he just stays calm and maybe even talks to whatever's there, it might help everything settle down. But plenty of people disagree with that. People who don't believe in this stuff, and even some paranormal experts, say you can't always trust what a presence seems to be. According to ghost stories, some entities can pretend to be people you loved, using those feelings to trick you into trusting them. And that violent way the door moved doesn't seem very loving. It doesn't feel comforting, it feels deliberate, almost territorial. So if this isn't his late wife's spirit, then something else may have chosen that room for a reason.
Miren lo que tiene en la boca y ustedes van a ver cómo él intenta abrir las puertas a ver si están sin seguro, e incluso hace exactamente eso, mirando debajo de las alfombras de las puertas para ver si la gente dejó la llave. Usted sabe que a veces nosotros dejamos la llave así para que pues nuestro familiar, alguien que esté de visita, pues tenga como abrir la puerta. Señores, es mejor sacarle una copia a la llave. Usted se imagina si esas personas no hubieran tenido la puerta cerrada con seguro y para allá arriba fue. Ahí se lo dejo. Si tiene algún adolescente en casa que siempre están con el teléfono y se lo olvida todo, alguna persona mayor o lo que sea, usted mismo, ahí se lo dejo para que más nunca se le olvide ponerle el seguro a la puerta. Yo con eso soy psiquiátrica, mi amor. Yo los leo en los comentarios. Dios reprenda, porque se ve que esa persona no está bien de la cabeza. Parece que está hasta poseída. Padre Celestial.
This whole situation is really disturbing. Just think about what could have gone down inside one of those apartments if someone forgot to lock their door. Picture this, you're going through your security footage the next morning and you discover that someone was actually out there all night long, persistently trying to break into your place while you were peacefully sleeping in your bed. Over on TikTok, a woman known as Casey Creates uploaded a short clip in February 2023. In her video, she's trying to get her dog to go outside at night, and she's only got a flashlight to see anything in the dark, but her dog just won't move forward at all. Casey figures the dog is just being difficult, or maybe wants to play around, so she pulls out her phone to film what she thinks will be a funny little moment. What she has no idea about is that she's probably about to record something way more disturbing, something that's going to turn a regular night into what tons of people are now calling some of the most unsettling creepy footage anyone's ever caught on video.
What is that? Hello? Rocky, what is that? Mom? Come on, Rocky, let's go inside. Come on, let's get out of here.
Pretty soon into the recording, her dog starts barking like crazy toward the trees. The animal is totally focused on something out there that you can't really see yet. Casey said later that she could actually hear something moving around, like something was walking through those trees. Then you can just barely make out these reflective eyes showing up when her flashlight hits them. A few seconds after that, even more eyes start appearing. Altogether, it looks like 3 different pairs of eyes at different heights, just staring back at them from the darkness. According to Casey, she didn't see anything at the beginning, but those noises just kept getting louder and louder. Then that first pair of eyes showed up, and she started thinking, okay, if that's just a deer, what other things could be hiding out there? Some people watching think this creepy footage is just showing regular animals in the woods. If you've got several deer scattered around at different distances, or maybe they're standing on slopes and hills, it's pretty easy to make it look like they're all different sizes. But not everyone's buying that explanation. They keep talking about how perfectly still everything is, how far apart those eyes are, and the way they just stay frozen in one spot. Some people are even saying it reminds them of stories about the Wendigo, that thing that's supposed to hide right at the edge of the forest. Sure, there's probably some normal reason for what's happening, but picture yourself out there alone in the middle of the night with multiple pairs of glowing eyes just staring at you from complete blackness. Even if you know there's a logical answer, your mind still starts creating its own explanations. There's another case we need to discuss. A man named Dustin has been posting eerie recordings from his house where he's confined in the southern Appalachian Mountains. Night after night, weird sounds come from deep in the woods, echoing through the darkness. But instead of staying inside when it gets dark, Dustin gets curious and heads out with his camera to film whatever's making those strange noises. You need to see what he caught.
Hurry up, guys. Cherokee, Dewey, come on.
Those wind chimes on his porch started swinging and making noise all by themselves. Here's the creepy part. There wasn't any wind at all, not even a breeze. You can hear voices in this recording that shouldn't be there, like something was right there next to Dustin, trying to get his attention. People say it's a Skinner, some kind of shapeshifter that copies human voices to lure you outside. Being a night security guard takes serious courage. You're constantly walking through pitch-black hallways and buildings where nobody else is around, which can really mess with your head. But what this security guard experienced in the UK was way more than just his imagination playing tricks. This happened in Weymouth, right on Santo Tommaso Street. There was this local pub that had just shut down for good. The building was really old, one of those places packed with history, strange sounds, and floors that groan when dawn breaks. All the guard had to do was walk his usual patrol route and check that nobody had broken into the empty building. Then one night everything changed completely. Something really weird went down and it got caught on camera for about a minute and a half. Something mysterious was definitely there with him. Let's take a look at this footage.
Beer cellar. Oh, it stinks in there. What's in there? Oh, it's like cellar or something. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey! Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, now. Jesus Christ.
The video starts with these really dark corridors. You can't see anyone around at first. Just total blackness for the opening moments. Nothing's happening yet. Seems like any regular security footage that could be from anywhere. Then he heads down into the basement, and that's when something absolutely terrifying takes place. This wooden plank that was just sitting there against the wall suddenly crashes down on its own. It seriously looks like somebody just hurled it straight at him.
Oh, it's like cellar or something.
The guard slowly backs up a few steps, clearly trying to figure out what just happened to him. Then, after a couple of seconds, he decides he's getting out of there as fast as possible. What do you make of that strange reaction? A lot of people say it was probably just wind that knocked it over, but the security guard had this to say about that theory. No way. That place is totally sealed off from outside air, and it was actually pretty warm that night. So, what's your take on this? What do you think that camera picked up? This is Nate, the guy who's been recording and documenting all this weird paranormal stuff that keeps happening throughout his house. In the beginning, all the strange and unexplained things only went down after dark. When night fell, you'd hear voices whispering in the darkness. Things would move by themselves. His dog wouldn't go into certain rooms and would just stand there completely still, staring at empty corners like something invisible was staring right back. But this isn't only happening at night anymore. Now, this stuff is going on in the middle of the day too. And the one thing that keeps happening over and over is hearing footsteps.
Guys, something was just walking down the stairs. I'm just sitting here having my coffee, watching a couple fights from last night that I missed. The dog is down here with me, of course. And I heard walking down the first set of stairs down to this landing. Nobody there. It sounded like it walked down this set to this landing, and then stopped at that landing. But when I looked up, of course, there was nothing there. Oh, Christ. Please tell me you guys heard that. Sound like running up the stairs, running down the stairs. I don't know what it was, but it was one of them. What do you want? Guys, I'm telling you, until you experience something for yourself, there's no way to put into words that feeling inside of you, in your gut, like in your deep in your gut.
From the very beginning of the recording, something genuinely unsettling and creepy starts happening that catches everyone's attention. When the video first kicks off and starts rolling, you can actually hear this quiet, faint voice in the background saying, "Hey." Just a little bit later in the footage, Nate himself calls out loud and asks, "What do you want?" And then, almost immediately after his question, a mysterious voice answers back with just one single, chilling word, "You." That response alone was already disturbing and unsettling enough for all the people who were watching the video. But then they gradually started noticing something else entirely that made the whole situation even more bizarre and concerning.
Okay. I was upstairs getting dressed. And heard what sounded like a child running. Or it sounded like a kid playing. Like running and laughing. And she's right there. What do you hear? What is it? Hey. Mama. Where is it? She's looking at that couch. Okay. Oh, I didn't hear anything. Oh, what the f***?
When you really think about everything that's already gone down in this house over the years, all those whispered voices he's been capturing, the direct answers and responses he's getting on camera during his investigations, objects getting thrown around and moved by unseen forces, his dog being absolutely terrified and on edge all the time. A lot of people don't think this is some child's ghost anymore. There's this much more disturbing idea that's been spreading around through the comments and discussions that whatever's haunting Nate's place is actually pretending to be a kid. It's deliberately copying all that innocent stuff, the sweet laughing, the playful behavior, all those childlike mannerisms that would normally seem harmless and endearing. But it's not doing this because it really is a child at all. Instead, it's doing this because it's trying to make him think it's completely harmless and safe. The entity wants Nate to drop his defenses, to stop being cautious and alert, so that he'll let his guard down completely and become more vulnerable to whatever this thing actually has planned for him. If that theory turns out to be right, then this might not be just your typical ghost story or standard paranormal activity. This could be something way more sinister and dangerous than we initially thought. This mine worker in Indonesia posted some disturbing video footage online that has really gotten under people's skin and left many viewers feeling genuinely uncomfortable and unsettled by what they witnessed. He's working the night shift with another guy and they're driving this truck that's completely loaded up with all kinds of equipment and supplies over to the mining area. Everything looks totally ordinary and routine when they first start out on their journey, just like any other normal night shift they've done before. It's pitch black out here on this empty stretch of road, completely middle of nowhere, with no other cars or lights around. Just doing his regular night work like any other shift.
Mang! Di belakang ada apaan, Mang? Belakang! Di belakang! Belakang mobil!
That's when he looks down at the dashboard screen showing what's behind his truck. And there's something back there that definitely shouldn't be there. Something moving around in the complete blackness behind him, lurking just at the edge of where his vehicle's lights reach into the darkness. He stares at the monitor more closely, trying to make sense of what he's seeing in those grainy nighttime camera images. On the camera feed, there's what looks like a ghostly white person, just standing there motionless behind the truck, creating an unsettling and mysterious presence in the darkness. Now he's getting seriously worried, because the dashcam footage is clearly picking up and capturing this mysterious pale figure standing directly behind his truck, and the image is becoming more and more distinct and unsettling. So he gets on the radio with his buddies and asks them to take a good look around and check what's going on outside the mine. They radio back after checking and tell him there's absolutely nothing out there at all, no one around anywhere to be seen. This doesn't make sense to him at all, so he quickly grabs his phone and starts filming the exact same spot himself. When he records the area and looks at his screen, all he can see is completely empty pavement with nothing there. He swears up and down that the dashcam was working perfectly that night, functioning exactly as it should have been. Nothing was wrong with it at all, no weird reflections or technical glitches or malfunctions of any kind that could explain what appeared on that recording. So, what really happened here during this strange and unsettling nighttime encounter? Was it just the camera acting up and malfunctioning due to technical issues?
What the f? I'm starting to get really freaked out. It just went completely silent. I keep moving because I'm like scared to stay in one spot.
The footsteps get closer, more whistling through the trees, something moving in the thick bushes, then complete silence. She stares hard at one spot like something's definitely moving there in the shadows. We'll never know what it was because she never explained it. Now to a video recorded by a bunch of students from the Philippines. They recorded inside what appeared to be an unoccupied washroom, but as you're about to witness, it clearly wasn't empty at all. Without warning, the noise of a young child weeping comes from within the washroom. But the problem is, they're completely invisible. The only thing visible is the vacant bathroom stalls, where just seconds earlier, the entrance to one of them started to swing open by itself. But even aside from witnessing this, the sound by itself is quite disturbing. It's sufficient to make anybody simply bolt away. Now, hardly any details are known about this footage, but what got recorded is just one example of something otherworldly that happened here. This next case is going to really get under your skin. Alex recorded this at an empty house where he stores his motorcycle during work hours. He showed up one night to get his bike, and that's when the weird stuff started happening. Thank goodness he had his camera rolling, though maybe that wasn't such a good thing after all. Could be he sensed something was off, or maybe he knew nobody would believe his story without proof. You've got to see this footage.
Yo solo venía a recoger mi moto, pero al parecer moleste a alguien.
La dejé allá, pero en esta casa pues dicen que hay cosas en los cuartos, escuchan cosas raras siempre dicen, pero pues no, güey, creo que no.
Se escucharon ruidos medio raros.
Tengo miedo, pero vamos a ver qué sale aquí.
Pensé que eran sonidos de la calle.
No, es que la neta estoy estando más de miedo, güey. No, el chile ya mejor me voy, güey.
A monos que aquí espantan.
No, no te pases de la...
En este momento ya tenía mucho miedo.
Está la bella cosa.
Aquí se escuchó que se cerró una puerta.
¿Quién está ahí? Soy policía y estoy armado.
Fue lo único que se me ocurrió decir.
¿Qué dicen? ¿Subo? Ya mejor me voy. La vida una, vamos a ver qué pedo.
Esos cuartos siempre me han dado miedo. Tenía mucho miedo y no podía ni hablar.
¡Hey! Esto no es divertido.
Pensaba que alguien me estaba jugando una broma.
¿Escuchan eso?
Hasta que pasó esto.
¡Hey, güey!
Después me di cuenta que la puerta ya estaba abierta. Me metí para verificar que si estuviera solo. Pensaba que eran mis nervios, hasta que se escuchó algo en la ventana. Al mismo tiempo que se escuchó algo en la ventana, también se escuchó algo abajo. Decidí mejor irme porque se sentía una vibra extraña. Parado.
No, ya vamos, ya. No, es que...
Aquí ya sentía que alguien estaba atrás de mí.
Hay que dejar.
Estaba tan nervioso que se me olvidó cómo manejar. Apenas me estaba tranquilizando cuando me apagan la luz.
Déjale abrir el portón, güey. ¡Ey!
Escuché como si alguien hubiera corrido. El barril se empezó a mover.
Esto no es divertido, ¿eh?
En este punto aún pensaba que era alguien. Estaba dispuesto a ver quién era hasta que apagaron mi moto. De verdad tenía mucho miedo y no sabía qué hacer. Cada vez era más evidente que estaba completamente solo. Ya no podía respirar del miedo.
Oh, ya.
Se me estaba quebrando la voz horrible.
Quien sea que está aquí, esto no es divertido. ¡Ay!
Estaba tratando de buscar el control del portón para abrir. Justo en eso me avientan el barril.
¿Quién está aquí? ¡Manifiéstate!
Dios, por favor, ayuda.
Manifiéstate en este momento por el nombre de Jesús.
Yo ya no sabía ni a qué santo retarle, solo pensaba hacer lo de las películas. La mesa también se movió. Reza, reza. Yo solo quería salir corriendo de ahí.
Me voy. Ey. No, ya.
Now that's beyond disturbing. It's like something was following him around, messing with things just to scare him. You usually see this kind of behavior from lost spirits, souls that are desperately trying to get your attention, wanting to reach out and let you know they're still around. Then there are other things out there that actually feed on your fear. Your best bet is to completely ignore them and never speak to them. Once they think you want contact, you're in trouble. Steph has shared her story about experiencing strange and paranormal events in her home in Mexico over the past decade. After buying an old second-hand doll, she began hearing unexplained cries of a child throughout her house. Unable to endure it any longer, she got rid of the doll, but the eerie presence continued. One evening, Steph was terrified by chilling noises coming from her bedroom closet. What happened next left her deeply shaken.
Espera, ve. Se está abriendo. ¿Ya viste? No mames. Ya decidió hacerse presente el amigo. Y de día. Ay, no. Miren. Ay, no. Para que no digan que está en la ropa. ¿Dónde?
A small childlike hand slowly pushed the closet door open. Skeptical viewers of Steph's TikTok videos think someone might be hiding in her closet, but Steph shows it's empty. She believes the haunting presence in her home may appear as a child, but could be a malevolent entity in disguise. Is this real or a cleverly crafted hoax? Please share your thoughts in the comments. A woman named Jess went through an incident that left her badly unnerved. She had moved into a new place around August, and at first everything felt ordinary. She tells us about her close friend Derek, who died 13 years ago, and every so often, odd happenings would occur that she assumed were caused by Derek's spirit, because he once joked he would haunt her after he was gone. Not long after settling in, she brought his ashes home, and from that point, the strange occurrences seemed to ramp up in.
Mary, what the f***? He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Mary, he's doing it again. Derek! Hey, Derek! I know you're f***ing with me, dude. Derek! Derek! I'm talking to you, man.
Dark shape appeared to drift across the space, behind the entry that leads up toward the attic stairs. At first she read it as Derek paying a visit, but now she is not sure at all, and the fear is starting to set in. When the movement stopped, she headed upstairs.
Y'all wanted me to come up to the attic, okay? This is the wall that y'all saw some shit on. And these are the stairs. Like, my husband has all his clothes, of course. But if you look up there, there's no windows. I'm not going all the way up there because it scares the shit out of me. There's no windows. There's a sofa, some mirrors, a chair, his clothes, but there's no windows up here, okay? Alright, I'm getting the out of here because it feels weird.
She points out that there are no windows or objects up there that could have thrown light or created a simple illusion like the shadow seen earlier. The only notable feature is a mirror that faces back down toward the staircase and the landing. At one moment, what looks like a pale, unsettling face appears in the glass. A faint, fast shape zips past her and disappears from view. Some people claim a fly might have crossed the light and cast a shadow, yet that does not really fit, and it still does not explain the face in the mirror. Or the earlier movement by the attic door. Jess is shaken now and wonders whether this is truly her long-lost friend Derek or something more troubling that is hiding up in the attic.